Let's Talk on 99.5 Wish FM, Nigeria's business radio. Let's Talk is a program, a news and current affairs program, designed with you at the center of it. Because at some point, the phone lines will be open for you to delve in with your views and thoughts. And what we do is see how we can model, see how we can mold it within the confines of decorum, all right? Within the confines of responsibility. So you don't step out of line and say something that will put both of us in trouble. But welcome. So we do have rules and regulations on this program on radio. Welcome. Well, from the news, I heard that the Chief Security Officer for the community in the Moha local government area, River State, Charles Martins, allegedly being shot dead by the Joint Military Task Force team. As a Chief Security Officer, you are not an armed forces personnel, so you're not allowed to bear arms. You don't carry arms. We should know this. These are very simple. You can't bear arms unless you are just for recreational activities like hunting, all right? Unless you're a hunter, unless you're bearing arms licensed for games. Games. And how many of us are gamers here in Nigeria? And so we should be very careful. We should be very careful. I'm sure that the security and security agents are right there to restore law and order. All right, look. Hey, lessons learned. You don't carry arms where you're not licensed to do so. All right, so welcome once again. On this day, Tuesday, let's talk. The 2023 general election, Wike hits out at EU over report. The former governor of River State hit out at European Union over report of the last general election in Nigeria. Federal government appointments, Tinubu appoints 5 new advisors on the media and publicity directorate. Oh my goodness. All right, quickly, let's dig in. Doing that, I have with me my friend, a public affairs analyst, a public commentator. His name is Mufasa Eyimasan. Mufasa, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Chief, for having me. Good morning, listeners at home.
All right, quickly, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory a week on Monday hit out at the European Union EU over its report on the 2023 presidential election. We can say that the report failed to give the true position of the last election held in the country, but created a wrong impression in the minds of electorate, especially in River State. Wike expressed his dissatisfaction when EU ambassador to Nigeria, Samuel Isupi, paid him a walking visit in his office. The minister said the EU was supposed to serve as an observer during the last election and not to present a report that would not give the true picture of Nigerian democracy. Now, European Union Election Observation Mission, through Chief Observer Barry Andres, had in June presented its final report on the last Nigerian general elections and highlighted 6 priority areas with recommendations. We however said Nigerian laws cannot be the same as those of the European Union because they have different environment. All right, he said, I didn't agree with the European Union over the last report on election in Nigeria. They are to observe Nigerian laws. They are to observe. Nigerian laws can't be the same as EU laws because they are different environments. And River State EU report was different from what transpired there. How can people who believe in democracy and practices be portrayed as people who don't understand democracy? I'll stop there. The 2023 elections and the EU report, some Nigerians are hailing the EU report, saying that it truly represents what transpired in that election. Do you agree?
Well, thank you very much, Chief, for that question. For me, I believe that opinions differs when it comes to issues of observing. Um, it may not necessarily be you know on issues that borders about leadership recruitment. In our case, the elections, but on other strata of human endeavor. That is why they say we all have our different perception, to issues, events, and what have you. Now, looking at the EU observers mission, they've actually carried out the task that they came for, and they came up with a report that to them they feel, you know, was what transpired during the electionary process, in this country. For me, I may not know the parameters and indices that was used in coming up with that report. What I equally know is that there are equally other, groups that held contrary opinion to what the EU observers mission, they hold. And for me, that is the beauty of, of humanity. We may not all necessarily agree to a certain phenomenon or circumstance or assertion, as the case may be, but I know that there are things that needed to be learned from all the reports that have come from all the various observers mission, both from the part of the EU observers mission, both from the part of the ECOWAS, both on the part of even the Nigerian Bar Association and what have you. So, for me, it will not be too wise to discountenance, these observations. Rather, I think we can look for a way to build on them
Okay.
and how to improve on subsequent elections going forward.
The report on River State was very damning, so to speak, and want a better word to use, was very negative in the sense that uh, some of us woke up to a video circulating on social media. All right, it can't be verified, but the video was very negative in the sense that people carried, gongs, town criers, moving from one house, the end of a village to another one, announcing a certain, passing threats. If you are not voting for so, do not come out. Whether it happened now, whether it showed, and the name of the village was called. I'd expected that security agencies would have swung into action to look at the veracity of that video. There was a community called in that video, and then people's lives were threatened. The job of the security agencies would have been to ascertain the veracity of that video, if it was true, where it was coming from, what year it was done, and then if you put that aside, immediately after the elections, I remember seeing petitions on social media, and even made its way into conventional print, saying then the former governor of River State, then the governor, petition to say EU deny him visa and his family and all other. So there can't be smoke without fire. There can't be. In every accusation, there might be an iota of truth in it. Don't you agree?
Well, it still also appears that in every accusation, there can still be no iota of truth. Judging by most of the things we see these days, or especially on the internet, just recently we got a report on several news medium on the internet that the former head of state, retired General Gowon, has died.
Yes, I
So,
remember. Yes,
yeah,
but
so he has come out to
come out
refute
to
that. So for me, I am one person that I don't believe most of the things I see on the internet, because you see there are a lot of people who just want to they call it traffic or something. They just want to trend on the social media platforms. They come up with different kinds of things. Now, talking about the community that you said that is an allegation, like you said, has not been, proven to be true. If at all anything of such happen is bad, but that was in Port Harcourt during the presidential election. I didn't say no such where I live. I voted and then I went back to my house, peacefully. So for me, perhaps the police that has the responsibility and authority to investigate allegations like that, perhaps they are still on it. We can't be too sure. And I think going forward, like what I've said before, a lot still needs to be learned in every process that we encounter, as a people. Even the United States of America and most of these countries in Europe, they don't, they can't boast of having, the best, not talk about perfect electionary
but
process.
it's far. It's better.
It's not as if
it's better than what
of course,
have.
we can't. That's what I'm saying, that we strive to get better. I'm not saying that.
Are we striving to get better?
Of course, as a people, you learn from incidences of the past. Then you think of how to build on the ones that you did right, and the ones that you didn't do right. You look for a way to make amends. That's how you grow as a people.
You mentioned. I will let you go on. You mentioned that you voted peacefully, and when we were here on election day, you just voted in your unit, and you went home. We were here.
I still went round. I went round.
You didn't go around the river state.
It's not possible. Even you as a
journalist. What I'm saying is we were here and collating information from different units.
Okay.
And at some point some people called from some particular units to say we were not allowed into. I mean the gate was locked. If you're not a particular, they were mentioning party. If you're not voting for this candidate, go home. Reported. And some of the places that were reported, I drove down because I had a free pass to go. I drove down to find out. When I got there, I said, okay, well, they said, no, that finally when we reported that security agents came and is now open. And so if people feel that way, if they feel restricted at some point, and the job of the international observers observe election all over the world, even in the United States of America.
I agree.
So that's the recommendation. You can't call them partisan. They don't belong to the Nigerian party. All right. So the results seem to, the reports will seem to be non-partisan and devoid of bias, I should say.
Yeah, well, that was why I equally said in my initial deposition.
I agree that you have agreed that there were errors.
Of course, you cannot.
I wanted you to say that.
No, there were. See, you cannot in all human endeavor. I just made mention of even the United States of America.
But
just
human-induced error.
There are errors that was equally recorded during the United States, elections.
We keep making reference to that incident that happened in. Was it in 2 elections before this one?
It's even this one. We cannot. You see, we have to accept the fact that even as human beings, whether you are black or white, you always strive to be better than what you were yesterday.
True.
It's only God that is infallible. We are prone to errors. We will try to reduce it, to the barest. Now, I understand that in Nigeria we have a peculiar situation.
Peculiar to what degree?
To the degree that both the leaders and the led are all accomplices in this regards. Now, in a case where you have people, because I've always said that democracy is about the people, and leaders are product of society.
Okay.
If the people refuse to be cajoled, to be induced, to be mesmerized, there is no way that any of such
would have happened.
You see people where when you come, even on election day, you see them standing on the queue and start asking how much this party is paying, how much this party. It is rife.
But again, that depends on the economy. That depends on
the state
of reality of that economy.
We keep making excuses.
No, people are unemployed.
Okay,
are unemployed.
My brother, do you now, because you're unemployed, will you have asked this question several times, will you now poo and go back to eat your feces? How do we build a nation? How do we make things better? We are still complaining about election. Whereas a lot of things is ahead of us that we need to start rolling up our sleeves, see how to build the nation collectively, both on the part of the leaders and on the part of the people. Okay, now we keep saying that it's because of this and that economic that you have to, you know, mortgage your future. You sell your votes. You don't do it. You do it because for you, you needed that money at that particular point in time to satisfy that immediate needs. Now, what now happened thereafter? Because if a politician comes out with bags of money, you don't know where it gets. You don't even know those money were, were borrowed to start distributing to people, and they are accepting it willingly with open hands. Some of them demand, not some. Most of them make demands.
Okay.
They make demands like this is what we want for each vote. Now, if that person now, after spending all this money, now decide to want to first of all recoup, start paying his debt at the expense of critical infrastructural developments, who will be the one that will complain? But you see, going forward, because for me, you see, everybody have observed, both United Nations, European Union, ECOWAS, Nigerian Bar Association, civil society, we all have observed, and we've agreed that there are areas. It's not there are areas that we need to make amends going forward. We still have other elections to attend to. We have Bayelsa is coming, Kogi is coming, and if you see the amount of violence, this is not even talking about the people fighting and killing themselves for leaders. Are we barbarians? Because for me, it's only barbarians that want to resort to fisticuffs. You kill yourself before you to. That is what you see in the animal kingdom. So these are the areas that we need to work. If somebody comes and say, go and kill your brother, it gives you 5,000. It's not even much. 5,000, 10,000, in most cases 3,000. Go and cause trouble somewhere where people die and all of that. If you refuse, forget that immediate, we are the economy, because you ask yourself, even if that 3,000 naira can provide for you for that day, what about the next day? If we collectively come together as a people to say that enough of this, all commerce affair kind of electionary, we want to actually, as a people, select the leaders that we want. We can achieve a huge amount of success.
Do you know that you are a product of your environment?
Who creates the environment?
No, but do you agree that you are a product of the environment?
It's the people that creates the environment.
I totally agree, but I want you to agree.
I may not agree with you, because some of us grew up in an environment where it's volatile and dicey and all of that, but we refuse to be a product of that environment. Technically speaking and logically speaking, you could equally want to adduce and deduce certain semantic connotation from what you just said now, but I could still say that some of us may not be a product of the environment that we came from.
You are just speaking grammar. I want to throw you to the most dangerous forest in Nigeria. Let's say some bit of forest.
Is it the most dangerous forest in Nigeria?
I'm assuming that's the most. Okay. I'm assuming that's the most dangerous, and you see how your survival instincts will come out.
Okay.
If you stay there for so long, you become intertwined, one and in tune with the volatile environment, and then when you come out, you become a changed person. It's some of the futures of nature. Nature had made it so, not human. But let's go on. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has appointed some men and women to serve in the office of the President under the Media and Publicity Directorate. Now, a statement signed by Ajurin Ginali, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, enumerated the new appointees as Mr. Fela Dorotoye, Senior Special Assistant to the President, National Values. It was at some point a presidential candidate. I mean, Fela
Dorotoye. The All Nigerians Alliance or so, something like
one
that.
One of the political parties. Now, I don't know about the mushroom. Okay, I know them as a political party. Mr. Frederick Nwabufo is the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Engagement. Remember, this one, Fela, I keep calling him Fela, is Fela Durotoye, National Values and Social Justice. And then this is for public engagement. Mrs. Linda Akiwe is Senior Special Assistant to the President on Strategic Communication. So we have for public engagement, we have for strategic communication, and then we have Mr. Aliyu Audu, Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs. And then we have Mr. Francis Sada Abba, Personal Assistant to the, on Special Duties. 5 appointees on Public Media and Publicity Directorate. Please, what are we laundering? Please help me. The country is in a bad place economically. So it seemed to me we have a minister of communication. We have special advisor to the president on public media and publicity, Adrian Ngenadi. You have 5 more advisors on, please, what are we advising? I mean, there are where you can channel this to the economy. If you were saying, okay, special advisors on coordinating the economy and the directorate of technology to revive the technology. Okay, now we're talking about steel, how to bring back our steel industry. You appoint and relevant, I mean, so somebody called me this morning to say, have you seen the appointment? It's as though the president wants his image laundered so desperately that he's making this announcement and making this appointment. Not to forget the fact that we are bleeding dry economically, financially. We do not have money. And then somebody somewhere, the president, appointing people who will take salaries and other appendages. This one will have a driver, the driver will have. So isn't this a misplacement of priority?
Well, thank you very much, Chief. For me, I may not share the same sentiments, that you have mentioned.
I didn't expect you to go on.
Oh, good. Now, you see, when you talk about the media is vast, the media is complex, and even now that, in this 21st century, the media is complicated. And for me, the persons that has gotten this appointment, these are at least some of them. I know the Akigbe girl, the lady that was with the channels before. I used to follow her programs on Channels TV, the Gavel. She's one lady that is vast. She's smart. Of course, Olufela Durotoye is somebody whom a lot of Nigerians know. Is a leadership expert. Somebody who has so much, a lot to offer this country in any regards. So for me, I strongly believe that they all have their individual responsibility to discharge. You see, Nigeria is a very big and complex country. Let us not deceive ourselves. Nigeria is complex, and judging by the complexity of this country, we need hands on the deck to see how to push this nation forward. The only issue I may have is if they are not properly managed, because at times there could be some kind of confusion, in the regards that you may have somebody who is vast in a particular area, still in the media, that has what to give to the members of the public in the case of public appearance and all of that. Then you may also have somebody who feels that he is higher in office and he's the one that should respond, take responsibility for issues like that. People not trying to outshine, one trying to outshine the other. So for me, now that they have been appointed, I think their duties should be properly spelled out to them. A lot needs to be done, especially as it has to do with not the image of the president alone, We're talking about the image of
You,
this country.
you know when
And then- and-
you were
and-
making your submission about how
Yeah.
vast and how populated we are, what readily came to my mind was, are we larger than United States of America in terms of population?
Even in the United States, they have a lot of people managing.
No, they don't have 5 special advisors on
No,
communication.
what?
They don't they don't have a duplication
My brother.
of positions.
Now, do you know that even in America
Mm.
now,
Mm.
what you have as the Secretary of State,
Yes.
the Secretary of State function as both
The Minister for Information.
Minister for Foreign Affairs,
And
you understand
information.
me? And other
What?
diplomats. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Because I wanted to.
I'm coming.
I wanted to. Okay.
Good. And other diplomatic issues.
Okay.
Now that Secretary of State has people that works with that office, people that work with that office rather, who are meant to manage.
Who are civil servants, Mufasa?
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. They also have appointees.
No, I can't wait you long.
No, I'm coming. I'm
Okay.
coming. I'm
Okay.
coming. They are, who are appointees? Who are appointees of that office? They have, even in the department of the press. There's a press unit. There's a name
A press
for it.
corps. A press
No,
corps.
the person that speaks on behalf, not the Secretary of State, is not the official spokesperson of the government. You understand me? They have somebody who is in charge of the media and publicity of that country. There's an office for that. I will remember before then. That person also have people that are equally part of his team. That is a teamwork.
Okay.
What I'm coming
Okay.
it is a teamwork. And now, let us not begin to get carried away by these titles and all of that. I see it as a team that, if they are fully allowed to harness and bring their potentials together, we are going to benefit a whole lot. Because for me,
at the detriment of a bleeding.
good. I'm coming to that. Now, if we are looking at it from the angle of, there's a serious cash crunch in terms of, even if you look at our foreign exchange and all of that, it's catastrophic. Now, if we are looking at that angle, that where will the money to pay these people, where will it come from? That could be considered a bit, but government still needs to run. That is why government policies, for me, should be made public. Because if we know what these people get as their take home, both allowances and all of that, it will go a long way to equally, give the people the impression that even though these people, their services are needed, of course they needed to be paid, it's not really that too much that will now affect, the development and the financial capacity of the nation. But lastly, going forward, I do not think there is any need to make a fuss out of this whole appointment thing.
There is actually.
For me,
Okay.
what I'm looking at is how effective will these appointments, because like I've said before, these people, they are not even politicians. Fela Durotoye, after some time, he went back into private practice and all of that. He's not even a member of the APC. The lady that is holding both of course, she's also been as advisor representing the country to ECOWAS, that was with channels before. She has been a journalist for quite some time, and so these are technocrats who know a little about so many things.
Okay.
That will bring in their experience and capacity in terms of everything to bear in helping this administration deliver quality and good leadership to the people of this nation.
My grouse is that you're making us look so incompetent. I mean, Nigerians, do we need so much personnel to advise the president in the right direction or to speak proper? Ajulin Ganadi can do that. Ajulin Ganadi alone can do that. We don't need to bring the Chinese women.
As Ajiri now, as Ajiri done fantastically well, so far so good. Because there was a time he came out to make a statement, a very technical statement. For me, it could be that he may not have a thorough knowledge, because when he said that even if we start refining oil in this country, does that mean he made that statement?
Okay.
And now, if you look at that statement technically, that's why we also need technical people in the media. If you look at that statement, I'm coming. You look at it technically, what we are paying subsidy for is landing cost. So now you are coming to tell Nigerians that even if we start refining oil, that even the price will even go
higher.
Will go higher. If you marry that with technicalities, and you know that that statement does not jive.
Okay.
So will you now say that if somebody like Fela now, Fela that has more technical knowledge on things like this, do you think he would have made that?
I like
do you know that he would have made that error?
I like the fact that you walked straight into this trap. See, you quite agree. you quite agree. You've agreed now that Adrian Gadali might not be the best hand, and the president says, okay, I want to hit the ground running. Why not put him aside and bring? Listen, what I'm saying is I'm going to elaborate a lot of things now.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, we are not economically strong to start this I call it frivolities that we are driving at now, and so we needed something, to downsize kind of a small pocket of appointments that will drive the nation forward and maximize. So put that aside. If you go to the United States of America, which the population is almost as twice as Nigeria, we have a Secretary of State. We have the Secretary of State who has an assistant. The rest of the people working with him are civil servants. They have a directorate. Those are people working with him. He does have just one assistant. Any other person you hire as the Secretary of State, you pay from your salary. You ghost writers they hire, they pay from their salaries. They do not rely on the United States of America to pay. That's how the government is run. And you keep mentioning that these people are going to bring this to the table. It's more like eating yam, gari, eating cassava, tapioca, all right? And you are running away from diabetes at the age of 45. And you say, no, I'm changing its variety. I eat yam today, I eat yam in the afternoon, I eat gari in the... It doesn't tally, it doesn't marry. It's a full shot of a people who are destined to get out of the situation that we are, and a president who has sworn to get Nigeria out of poverty. It totally does not sink in well with me. I want your last take on this before I open up the phone lines.
You see, we all can, be correct, somehow one way. What I'm just trying to point out is that we cannot completely, discountenance or wish away the contribution, that these new intakes will bring, to the government. I know that there is economic downturn, and people are advising that leaders at all levels, not just the presidency, at all levels, should try to reduce cost of governance. And for me, I think that advice is spot on. But now that we are here, because I'm a person that always wants to look at the brighter side of things regardless. Now that we are here, I also know that there are things that that is required of the offices that these persons have been appointed to. When I mentioned Ajuri, I wasn't trying to say that the guy is not good. Ajuri is a fantastic guy. What I'm trying to say is that
what you're trying to say is that we needed to put like 6 more of Ajuris.
No, not 6 more. Okay. No, there are people. People have different areas of specialization. Okay, Ajuri, knows how to. He has his own ways with words and all of that. There are certain technicalities that you would equally need a technical hands to manage. Just like in a football team, you have the manager that a lot of people see, which is the coach. But there is a technical team, whose contributions are very, very key, in advancing the course of that team. So for me, it doesn't necessarily matter, the number provided we are seeing significant results. And
All right.
I'm coming.
Mm.
Hello.
Go on.
Now, is the White House press secretary
Mm.
that is in charge of, is the press secretary to the White House that is in charge of media
Oh, yes,
and publicity
yes,
of the
yes.
United States government.
Mm.
I just want to put that to
Mm.
the publicity. So that office has other, you know, departments. You know, that office has
You check properly. Manned by civil servants.
no. Okay, is the press secretary a civil servant?
No, it's an appointee.
It's an
Yes.
appointee of the president.
Yes.
And now the president.
Every appointee is entitled to an assistant.
I'm coming.
Check the American structure.
Good.
An assistant. The rest work with what is given. I mean, if you are a director in the Ministry of Information, you are a director. You work with the minister who came in and advisors who came in. That's how it's run.
Agreed. What I'm trying to say is that does not rule out the position of the president if he so desire to equally appoint.
We are not.
You understand me?
We are not.
So whether he pays from his pockets, whether he pays from his own salary.
He can't pay from his salary.
No. I'm coming. Whether he pays from his pockets or not, at this stage now, that is not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What I'm looking at is what exactly are these people bringing to the table? Are we going to see their contributions?
I mean, when you're making that consideration, you also look at the department they are coming to.
That department is vast. I just told you that media is complex. It is compartmentalized to an extent that one person, one single individual cannot, and I say this with every sense of responsibility, one single individual cannot manage the media department of even a governor.
A very simple question. If the economy does not do well, where would they gain the salary?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say that we just want to know what is their take home. Because do you not say that because the economy is doing bad, the president should not assemble a team that he feels will help him to achieve a lot in government?
The president had done that already.
What
I'm fighting against is duplication.
When you say duplication now, you are sounding as though only one person can do the whole job. Now, even in
Obasanjo era.
Which Obasanjo era? Can you say that in Obasanjo era, Obasanjo has essay on media publicity now?
Yes. And the Minister for Information.
It
stops there.
It doesn't stop there. We can fact check it. We can fact check it. But
that Obasanjo appointed 5.
It mustn't be 5. It mustn't be. It could be 3. It could be 4. It could be 2. But what I'm saying is, Chief, let us just. And
again, remember, let us the state of our economy when Obasanjo was and now.
Let me just land so that we can take in some calls now. What I'm saying now is this. It may not be that duplication as we are looking at it. These people, even to their name, portfolios were attached. This one was strategy and this one was this. It is not like go and join media. Go join Algeria. It is not like that. Offices were carved out. And when you look at it, these are strategic offices still in the media.
Okay.
Now, if they are going to do well or not, that is my concern. Because I want them to do well so that Nigerians can equally benefit from their contribution to the system. Somebody like Fela, for instance, that has been struggling to be president of this country for some time now. Now he has been given the opportunity to come in and be part of the team. So let us just watch and see. But most importantly, I think we want to equally know how much, not just this SAs, both ministers, our senators, and appointees of government. Let us know what is their take home.
All right, 0702-500-2007, 0907-084-9073. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? John the Eagle, welcome. But the president, the president never mentioned that he appointing people who are going to launder his image. They're appointing special advisors to on media. No, but the media is not limited.
Okay.
Is vast. But I get you. You need to go, so okay. When you call in, please stay away from your radio set. We don't want our ears blown off. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, boss.
Yes, Christian, welcome.
Yes, let me ask this question. If you go to a site where they are building a house, or they are almost completed building a house, where do you see more people work? When you're trying to do that next, and as because most of you are building this coming to sure, people are reduced. I'm trying to paint a picture of when you begin to talk about Nigeria and America. America is already a working system. So you will see less people doing the job. Nigeria is a site that was built. So more people will come on board to build it.
A site you have money to pay the workmen, no? A site where you have money. Do you, I mean, I'm marrying your analysis and examples. So a site where you have, do not forget, a site where you have money to pay workmen. If not, they will fall the building. Go on.
Who is telling you that Nigeria does not know? Our problem is the Indian
Really?
corruption, we have money. We have money. The Indian corruption, that's our problem. Sometimes we don't have money.
Okay, so where exactly is the money, Christian? Please.
See, all the time you read that news, and government wasted this money, people don't. I said, where I said this at? We have money. This is the corruption that is in this country. And let me also ask this, because sometimes I begin to ask, is it that as media people, we must criticize everything that government does? And that's not what aspect of it.
Did you listen to me yesterday? You know, at some point, some people are beginning to feel that I'm an advocate for the Tinubu administration, and I said, you do not know, you do not know who. Okay, go on. Hmm.
I said that as an FOP singing on that you might not do it all.
Mm.
What do that to an Israel? But you thought that ask the question and still ready to get position.
Mm.
Because only you know, most people are thinking of it. But what I want to say is that let's give our country a chance. We know that we are facing challenges. It's not the American America you're talking about. They still have the challenge in different form. But like people will say, sometimes I ask people, when they say government appointed system for people to come and keep it government house. Are we aware that that money is a lot of Nigeria to do contract and some other because it's not the government right for federal take the money to market. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. The real gift. You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, my brother from the Taproot.
Greetings. Sorry, on this side of the device, sir. The radio chief.
The real gift.
Remember when I told you that nobody goes to ask anything but for why this thing happened to them? And so for those who are appointed, to Lord be the glory on their behalf. But don't forget that I've always told you that a growth done by the community suffers from malnutrition. Look at the popular.
Oh my goodness. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Otto Gostheim Lugard, welcome, my brother.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say well on yes, we can use it.
And EU.
EU, rather, EU, sorry, EU. You know, I overheard the FCT minister and the ambassador of the what representative of why he was doing most especially on the report and the River State report in particular. We are not strangers in River State, or we are not aware of what happened in River State. Others
Exactly.
And most especially when we have jobs to do. But because there is no job, we concentrate more on what the government is doing and what the government should do with our resources.
Mm.
And presently, the government should do more to revise the economy.
All right.
Because they revise the economy
Thank you.
and people are engaged.
Thank you very much, Otto Costa and Bluegard, for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Chijoke. Go on.
Disappointment to me is not necessary. Just like that is the political contribution. We are looking at some of the challenges that staring us at the moment. You cannot refer now. All your people is to appoint. Even the appointment, I also frustrated because look at the stuff. We started the appointment of the president. The same line of popularity of I put that with the look started up. It's what we repeating itself now. And Nigeria are trying to learn that even some people don't see that a big problem, challenges. To me, it's a very big problem that faces us as a nation. That each day we talk for unity, but in practice we don't do that.
Mm.
I see it at the high level of people. Even some people just have and correct it abnormally. And they think that that is the only way we can sustain the unity that we clamor for. So let them leave all this alone. They are looking for somebody that will not act. Because the image is already patterned based on the policies of
So you feel that the appointments were geared towards image laundry?
that is there. They are looking for somebody that will go just speak smart and convince me and you that all is well. Which is all is not well.
All right. That's your personal. All right. All right. We can't stop anybody from expressing their opinion. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Chris, you're welcome. Go on quickly. 1 minute.
Yeah, there is one very song that we always say, your work can people and protect.
Very awesome.
There's no need for you to, even in my village, even in my church, they don't dare do anything you remove money that you're not supposed to remove in any community. Even in my church, I will stop you. You don't dare ask me to go to where I make people send us to that point, then you are asking God of asking me, let's come on this morning and tell the church that people will pay 20,000, 5,000. You don't get rich. See, you don't need anybody to get what is going on. You don't need to hire any essay. Essay on what? Essay on propaganda that the fuel is now sold at 600, that essay will be telling me that the fuel is 15 naira. What is the job of the essay?
The job of the essay is enormous. All right. The job of the essay on media are enormous. I don't. My browse is that we're making this appointment at a very wrong. That's what I feel at the wrong time. But all right, that's exactly what I was saying. Thank you very much, Chris, for your contribution. All right. Hello. Good morning. I think it will be our last call for this morning. Hello. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes. Okay. The real gift. The line was unfriendly to you.
The door was locked, so I tried the window.
Okay. So quickly. 1 minute. 1 minute. Go on.
I'm not against most of this appointment, but I think the number of persons in that media team is too much. Now, who are they supposed to report to? Or who heads that media team? Is it still Akiru Ngudale?
I think he's the one.
As the media and publicity directorate, I don't know who the head is. They're not clear with that.
That is the issue, because when you have a lot of persons like this, you said they have planned portfolio strategy and communication and what have you. But I think it is still too much. I think one or two or three persons can handle this job. Remember over the weekend, one member of the FRSC went to an occasion, a function, and said the FRSC needs to bear arms. At the end of the day, the FRSC came out to tell us that they don't know that person. So on whose behalf did he go to that occasion? And these are the issues, because sometimes a member of this media team might come out to say something that may team will come out to say something things. At the end of the day, you start looking at where the world trying to spin it, to patch up. For me, if that point, I don't complain, no. But at this point in time, I think the number of that media team is on the high side, looking at the economy.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. The real gift. Mufasa, I want your last take on this because we're already out of time.
For me, I know that expectations are high. A lot is expected from leaders, by the people. I equally know that with the way that the country is right now, talking about the economic downturn and all of that, things like this would certainly generate a lot of talking and agitations. But I want to urge Nigerians to just allow the process, to deliver what it has promised the people. And if the president feels that this is what he wants to, to complement what he has already on the ground, to drive his renewed hope agenda, I think we should just give him that opportunity. It's only when we don't get positive results, I will be in the forefront of the people. I will call out the government to say that you had the opportunity to assemble a team. How come we are not seeing any significant positive results?
And how long should we sit and wait for this positive result to manifest?
It is a process. Nation building is a process, and it's a collective responsibility. When you say laundering of image of who? We're all responsible to launder the image of this country. That is a responsibility. To hold and and put this nation in good light before the rest of the world. But we seem to badmouth our country all the time. Look at what happened in Israel. A surprise attack. A whole Israel that has one of the best military, one of the best intelligence, one of the best best of the best. They were taken unawares. If it was to happen in this country, my brother, there's nothing that will not. But you see them coming together as a people to fight the common enemy. I'm not, saying that war is the way to go. I've always said that war has not really helped us. But let's look at how united they are currently now in the face of this aggression. So for me, you see, it is not about the president; it's about our nation. And if there are people that this president feels that they are going to come and make the government a better government that will provide quality leadership to the people, we can give them that opportunity. When you said, how long will this time take? This is just about 3 or 4 months into governance. So many promises have been made. So let us just see how, they can be managed to the extent that we begin to see quality leadership. We want to see our refineries working. We want to see most of our moribund industries. We want to see them working. The steel companies. We want to see a situation where we'll be having power, for 24 hours uninterrupted. We want to see a situation where you don't need to struggle to get gas because we are wasting gas in this country. These are the things we want to see. And the president alone cannot achieve, but that's why he needs a formidable team to come together and brainstorm and see how to make things work for this country.
Even when the president wants to employ the whole of Omigwe community in Alo,
if that's what I said, if people will be willing to work without expecting big salary, because that is what we see it as.
All right.
An American president is not the richest man in the whole of America. But in this country, the local government chairman want to be the richest in his so these are the things. It doesn't matter how many people you want to employ. It's just for that self, sacrifice. Are you willing to do whatever it takes?
All right.
To make this country
thank
better?
you very much, Mufasa Yimasa.
Thank you very much,
Public Affairs
Chief, for having me. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. I enjoyed the banter. That's what makes Let's Talk different from every other radio program east of the Niger. I mean, every day we come here to talk for national development, not to spite anybody. No, not to spite anybody or any government. It's for the development of our nation. All right, my name is Cosby Jones, the radio chief.